as promised, let's get straight to the management of RR Kabel. They reported actually a good quarter. Quarter 3 was a little bit subdued, but they've returned back to their growing ways in quarter 4 itself. To understand what's the outlook from here on, we're joined by Mr. Rajesh Jain, the CFO of the company. Hi, Mr. Jain. Good morning, and thanks a lot for joining in. Well, in the past year, you've grown by close to around 18%, and you've outgrown most of your peers, barring Polycab. For this year, what kind of a growth are you penciling in? And could you tell us, in terms of a market share, I think it's around 7% as of now. How do you see that panning out as well going ahead? So growth, how much comes in from FMEG, and what about the market share?
Good morning. Thanks for inviting us for this call. If you see, we have always outperformed majority of the time to the industry, and like this year also, in volume terms, our wire and cable business has grown around 20%. And even FMEG right now, that has about 12% share in our revenue. And going forward, also we expect to grow in wire and cable around 20% volume growth. About revenue, we cannot speak because it depends on the metal prices. But in volume, we are targeting and expecting to grow at 20%.
Okay. All right. You briefly mentioned about the FMEG business as well. So could you tell us what is the revenue number we should look at in the FMEG business? And you had briefly mentioned that when you hit 1,000 crores of FMEG volume revenues, then you break even. Is that in the coming year?
So yeah, we are expecting revenue growth and we will expect to grow and achieve the revenue growth of 1,000 crore in this FY25. And about EBITDA, still we are not sure. We are expecting to achieve break even in next 4 or 5 quarters, and we will try our best to achieve that.
Okay, Mr. Jain, good morning and thanks for joining in. So you said 20% volume growth is your target for the next year. Can you tell me in terms of demand, right, for cables and wires particularly, what are you seeing now? Where is the demand coming in from? Is it from housing wires, industrial wires, power cables? Where is the maximum demand from?
So overall, Indian economy is doing good, and we are having good demand from domestic as well as export also. Export already contributing almost 30% in our revenue. So we have good demand from residential sector also, wire also, institutional or infrastructure sale. So this will be a mix of domestic as well as export demand.
Mix of domestic and export demand. Okay. Can you tell me particularly for export, what is the kind of demand that you're seeing? What's the export contribution currently? And in the next 2 to 3 years, how much can that grow to?
So export was always focused since the beginning of our company, and still right now it is contributing almost 30% in wire and cable business, and going forward also it may go up to 35%, but it will remain in this range only, from 25 to 35% export will be there. In export, we are getting very good demand for our cable also from Europe and other developed market, and it is doing very good.
So this 25 to 35% rise in exports, right? By when do you think you can hit that 35% revenue contribution? And would that mean higher margins for you?
Well, of course, see, whenever there will be higher volume growth, it will convert into margin. Since it is like 35%, we may achieve in the next 2-3 years.
All right, got that. Mr. Jain, good morning. Just a quick word on sort of underlying metal prices, right? Copper prices, which have been rising, and forecasts are that they'll continue to rise. I mean, how does that impact you? In what way?
So we have seen very much volatility in copper prices. It has gone up also, and recently in last 10 days it has come down also, and it is part of our business. So copper price will always be there, and till we can pass on the prices to our consumer, it is part of our business. So, but looking to the global demand, it seems the copper price will remain in the higher end only in near future.
Does it hurt demand? I mean, postpone demand in any way, or no? I mean, if it rises to what some of the forecasts we are hearing, it's been more up than down. That you would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it will postpone demand, because this is wire and cable is requirement. It is not luxury product. So anyway, you have to consume.
Okay, all right. Mr. Jain, I wanted some more color on this exports business, which is around 26 to 30%, as you mentioned. Earlier, I think you all were exporting wires, and then you all were looking at pushing through some cables as well. So out of the total exports, what is the mix right now between wires and cables?
So around 70% is wire and 30% is cable.
And you all are looking to
cable
change
business-
that mix?
See, we are expanding our capacities in cable mode, so and we have very good demand. So it is expected that we will grow by higher rate in cable in compared to wire. But there is growth in both the sectors.
Got
in
it.
demand
You
also.
know, got it. You know, since your FMEG business is going to gradually move towards a break-even point once you hit that 1,000 crore mark, and you're hopeful in the next 4 to 5 quarters, on a blended basis, what should margins look at? Volumes will be there. FMEG moves towards break-even. So, with these levers in place, how much better can margins be in FY25 in comparison to FY24?
So we are expecting to improve our margins by 100 to 120 bips on blended basis.
100 to 125. So, it will be around 8, close to 8 to 8.25%.
Yeah, that is the range we are targeting to achieve.
All right, just one more question, sir. You have done close to around 6,600 crores. You're sounding very optimistic about business. With the current investments that you have made and the Capex that you've already done, at peak levels, what can you do in revenues?
So, like Capex plan, what we have planned in for FY24 and FY25, it is in line, and whatever volume growth we have planned for this year and next year, this will be we can achieve by the current Capex. And now we will start working on the new Capex also for to meet the further demand of FY28-29 kind of business, because it requires almost 18 to 24 months to execute one Capex cycle.
Okay, all right. We'll let you go on.
Just
Yeah,
one
yeah, sure,
point,
sure.
Mr. Jain. On the office of the CEO, is there? Will we hear the appointment of a new CEO soon? Is that, or will Mr. Kabra continue to hold that position?
So currently this is the situation, and since this is management call, so I cannot comment right now because this will be decided very soon and will be informed to you.
Okay, and I'm not sure if you got a chance to speak with one after that announcement in April. Can you tell us what was the reason for the termination of the sort of CEO, the previous CEO?
No, this was management call, so I'm not part of that decision. So this
Okay,
this
all right.
this was some internal reorganization.
Okay, all right. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us, and we sort of hope to hear more from you if there is any development on that particular front. We'll